So I am Mona Wales, and I am playing the character of Janine in this fine romantic comedy of Airs. And my character is kind of, she's in a midlife crisis, and she's been alone for 10 years, and she's something of a Luddite and doesn't trust technology or her feelings.
So can you tell us when you first got on social media? Were you on Friendster or MySpace?
I'm old, like LiveJournal. I was a LiveJournal was my first, it was my first social media.
Talk about the pioneers of social media.
Yeah.
Reference to you.
It was, and it wasn't even on a computer. It was, we had one of those, keyboards that you like plugged into your TV. Remember?
No, I didn't
Before.
know that. That cool.
Oh well, I guess I was like, this is inappropriate that I'm playing somebody in a midlife crisis, and I'm like, actually, bitch, you're old. Like,
No, I don't think I was around during that time. I think my family just didn't have access to that yet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I grew up in Silicon Valley, so we had.
For some reason, you seem like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
But you seem technologically savvy.
I'm very of that place. Like I very much am. Yeah. So yeah, LiveJournal. I don't know. In my, I was in middle school at the time, and I thought it was like a great idea to like share all of my personal feelings towards my family members with the internet on a shared device that everyone can get on a technology that I don't really understand. So pretty immediately I understood that the lack of privacy on the internet and like the promise of it was not there.
But in a lot of ways, it's good to learn that lesson before you do anything too terrible. Maybe?
Yeah, it was like one of the first.
Did you ever?
I did a couple of of my first little forays on the internet. I always did like some pretty terrible shit.
Really?
Actually.
Were you like a troll?
No, I was just like, so it was when I was younger, significantly younger, like on that same machine, I would like meet like grown ups, or people that were older than me in real life, and I'd get their email addresses, and I'd start these like torrid love affairs with like people online, and I did all the.
How old you were?
Yeah, and I did all the dangerous things on like, and then like AOL, happened, and I was in all the chat rooms talking to all the strange men, like every day after school.
But you were actually like a young woman instead of just another.
I was indeed a
14.
vulnerable young woman alone at the house, giving away her home phone number to have like phone sex with people that I met on the internet. Like I just should have had supervision.
Where was the supervision? They were out.
I mean, it was after school, right? And this was like, children have always kind of outpaced their parents a little bit with technology, because it's, my generation was the, one of the last that like had a childhood without it, and then like remembered it coming into being, and then like, so I mean, it was before people really knew. It was like in these first years, before people really knew what like parental controls were, and like I think that my parents just like, I don't know, like my dad read my LiveJournal and like found out about all this stuff. But like...
Did he react positively?
No, not at all. Not at all.
At his age?
No, he went and changed it. He like went in and like edited my LiveJournal and rewrote my entries.
Oh, you really?
Yeah, just to fuck with me. Because that's the kind of like fuckery that went
interesting.
down, so I got...
That clever.
Yeah.
The kind of fuckery that went down in your household.
Yeah.
So what is your view towards social media now, as far as in terms of connecting with other people, maybe relationships or even fans, or just see it as a positive force and negative?
It just is, like I guess I was something of a Luddite for like a while. I don't know. I'm really into like the Amish approach to technology, right? Which is like not exactly anti-technology. They're just very judicious about like the technology that they accept, right? Like they allow for the like the electric milkers on the cows because, because they're like, well, this is a great tool, and then we can spend more time together.
Side question.
Yeah.
Do you think they ever use these electric milkers on themselves?
Oh my God. I just don't even start. There is not nearly enough I just all I really fantasize about is like becoming Amish one day. So that's tangential. I'm sure that the Amish have really good sex though. I really do think. They've got the bungling board. They've got all this cool sex stuff. I forgot what your question was. So I try to be judicious in my use of technology. It was like social media for this career is very important, so I do that. I don't have anything that is not I don't have a social media presence that is my person that is not Mona.
So you've obviously thought very critically about this. What was the choice in keeping it professional as opposed to personal?
I just don't want to give myself away like that. And I don't know, why am I not doing that? Well, I just am not that interested in a caricature that I can create a self that I can create online. I'm not very interested in that.
Right. Interesting.
I don't know.
So for some people, it's the internet. It allows loners to connect.
Yeah.
So if you're very introverted, you can have this social life without actually having one.
Right.
The problem being is that these people never develop the social skills to actually meet people in real life.
Right.
So it makes them worse off in a lot of ways, and yet it still provides that relief. So I guess there's...
It's a simulation of connection.
Yeah.
I don't think it is actually connected. It simulates and fires off parts
so
of of what it's like.
Sugar or a junk food.
There's this writer that I really like. He's somewhat controversial. His name's Nicholas Carr. He wrote that book, The Shallows, what the internet is doing to our brain. He also has this, I forget what it's called, this blog that I used to read that became these books. And he's a technology gadfly who I'm really interested in. And his books did a lot to kind of transform my thinking around this, and it's pretty extreme. Technology, specifically social media technology, plays to some of our weakest social urges and needs, and plays with the reptilian parts of our brains, and falsely satisfies this intense desire that we all have to connect with people. The issue is it's all self-indulgent, and I just don't really see what the there have been occasions where there's been social benefits to social media things, and we're talking some of the earlier things the Arab Spring. There's been good things that have happened. Unfortunately, the backlash.
You're learning about this book or this author or this writer was
right. I still don't know. Well, so Nicholas Carr argues that the way that we think has been altered significantly. Most people cannot read books anymore. And that is to me a huge problem, because our brains are now programmed to scan and to jump through hyperlinks, and so following a concrete narrative is not something that our attention spans are dwindling, and the depth of our thinking has been limited. Yeah.
But that would be balancing this argument that with how much interaction we are doing online, we're actually writing as a society. Mm-hmm. We're writing much more than we ever have before. Right. So I think one of the problems is if we are comparing the average person in this country, the average person living now, compared to the average person living 100 years ago. 100 years ago, they probably would have been illiterate and all these other things. So technology has raised the baseline, but maybe it's made it harder for people to go super deep on certain topics or something. But it is interesting too. Some people think of technology like, for instance, map navigation. You're not as spatially aware, but in a way, it is artificial intelligence, so it frees your brain to do other things.
Right. I've heard that argument. Yes.
But I guess the real question is that we're not probably going to go backwards. So what's the best way to go forwards?
I mean, for me, maintaining some kind of. I mean, I think that we should have basic human skills, like basic social skills. Like you should actually know how to get around the city that you live in without a map. You should memorize your friends' phone numbers in case something bad happens. You should know how to make a fire. You should have more skills than just being able to create, like, to Facetune your social. Like, I feel like we're becoming very superficial and unskilled humans. And as technology, as like human intelligence is replaced by artificial intelligence and robots and stuff, like we are going to be a society that doesn't need a lot of concrete technical skills, and so we're going to have to figure out what kinds of endeavors we want to engage in as people that won't have jobs and things. And if that great human endeavor becomes just like focused on this weird ego trip, which seems like the direction it's going, I'm not that interested.
Yeah. To bring it all back together, as technology is increasingly taking care of our comfort concerns of providing a surplus of food and housing and all these things, it does leave
if only it did that.
Well, it's getting closer, but it's not there yet.
Yeah, okay.
As it does more and more of that, it leaves us, like you said, looking for some goal, some sort of something to pursue. I wonder if there is a realm of, if that opens up a realm for like pornography or connection on the sexual level, or maybe, I mean, the problem is we're producing something for people to watch, which keeps them from interacting themselves, but hopefully it helps them maybe make connections themselves or explore.
Right. So ideally, pornography will be interactive. Like it will be have positive social effects.
Sure,
but you know, I don't know. I haven't seen that.
We'll see where it goes. All right, we look forward to.
Oh, okay. Is that it? That's like the least. Ooh. That's like the least sexy BTS of all time. We
learn more about you. That's what BTS. We get to see the sexy in the movie.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about your tits?
No, I should. Yeah, I should. Let's redo that.
Let's redo the whole thing. All right.
Let's redo that. That's not.
How's your vagina feeling today?
Great. I'm really hard. I had.
Did you have a perm maybe?
Yeah, I dyed my hair blonder.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
It's really hot.
Did you fluff the boobs today?
I'm hoping to do some fluffing later.
Well, we look forward to see that. Your fluffed boobs.
Oh, what a weirdo. Okay, bye.